Well, I really appreciate all this updating that you've done. I hope I'm not driving you crazy. I also like your notes here that you're giving us. Thanks for these sharing these along the way. I can see that you're making these changes, etc. Okay, so I don't know why I can't get it to go to full screen, but I can't. Okay, let's try this. All right, maybe it's because those tools are in there, and that's why I can't. Okay. With the comments in, it's hard to snap past them. Um, but let me say that I recognize that you are making the changes that I'm suggesting. Um, and I recognize that it's getting to be a more current document, more dynamic and interesting. So that's cool. All right, now, oh, look at how that chops that picture off right there. It's got a weird sliver of color. What the or maybe there's an object that happens to be green right there. Just kind of blends in with this. And it makes a strange shape. Doesn't look like it's a. The stroke is even. It looks like it's extra thick here for some reason. Just a trick with your eye. Okay, so looking at the cover. Again, if I could do anything, I'd make this a little bit bigger. Maybe I'd make this into two lines. It's here to sit maybe lower. I don't know. But overall, big improvement. Um, that's working. I'm still not a great big fan of this square. Um, that's me. But I get it. I understand why it's there. Okay, fair enough. Inside flap, yeah, that could work. Let's see. That's gonna be right next to this one. So this is the one we see, and right next to it is this guy. Okay, so asking myself, are the top two? No, this will stand out first. Then I could see the picture. Okay, if I then this, and then down. Okay, good. My, and then I see that you've improved these. I hope you recognize um, that these are now easier to read. I hope I'm not just. I hope you're not just making these changes because I ask for them. I hope you recognize that it really is making an improvement to the document. This type right here, maybe just a little bit more contrast, so maybe a little bit darker so I can read that easier. All right, so now it really comes to typeface. You really probably have too many typefaces now. You got this typeface, and you got this one, and you've got this other typeface that's still in there as well. So to me, I usually go with one, and sometimes I max out with two. All right, so if I'm going to do that, I'm going to make sure that I find typefaces that oh, work well together. So I'm just going to do a fresh search for Google. And one of the ways that we're going to find typefaces that work together, we're going to look at certain letters. And we're going to see their shapes. And I'm just thinking, oh, the F is another one. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take these same, and now I'm searching for a sans serif. And now I'm going to come and I'm going to open up another one and do the same for a serif. And what I want to find is similar letters, shapes between the two forms. In other words, you can get an A that's a single story A. You can get a single story G like this one is, or you can get a double story G. Well, if we're going to go with uh, we're going to want a matching typeface. We're going to match the two together. We're going to want the same in both categories. So something with a similar S shape as much as possible, a similar A shape. These surprisingly go pretty well together. My first choice over here that I felt was scientific, and maybe I was influenced by the name, was the IBM Plex Sans. That kind of felt very similar to what you had, but a little more current, a little scientific. And then I thought, okay, what can I find that is similar to that in shape that would complement that? Notice these to me is too wide of a G for that G. So that's too old school. That's not it. In fact, let me condense this all the way. Let's look at one at a time. We can go through. And of course, you can pick whatever you want. Oh, look at that. They actually made one for this. So that's an option. You go with the IBM for both, and I think it would make it a little more current. And obviously, they're meant to match. And you do have a lot of weights and italics, so you have a lot of variation, and yet you'll know that it was built to match serif to sans serif. You're going to have similar. So, I think you've got it. That just seems to be the last thing. And this typeface right here in the background is very 90s. This one is even older. So what is research right now strikes me as like 1918, which is a classic. So there's nothing wrong with it. I just want the whole flyer to feel more 2020, more current. And you got kind of older photos that we have supplied, and you've used them like requested, so good job. But that kind of dates it too. The colors, well, they're kind of a 1990s color. So I guess I'm trying the last minute, get past this typeface, squint at it, and look at its color. In other words, see how spread out the word research is and how tight the word improve is. So I've got some qualms with this typeface overall. Not so much this one, but if we're going to replace that one, we need something that matches, and so why not find that set? And we just came across the IBM. It might be the right combo. So you take a look at that, see if you like it, and I'll throw this video over to you. Thanks.